finally back on the map that I think will forever remain my favorite here in Way of the Hunter, Nez Perce Valley. Walking past some of these trophies that we watch grow literally from 1 star, and I think for the first time since like April, we actually don't have a rare that we're actively watching. So looking forward to properly exploring all over the map, not focusing in on any particular areas, and let's see what's waiting on us out here on Nez Perce today. Now our loadout today consists of the 30-06 and the bow, and this might legitimately be the smallest 1-star moose we've ever seen, and it also might be the first time that we've actually hunted moose since they've been changed to western moose, as we have the Alaska moose over on Aurora Shores. So might try to call that guy in. I don't know that we're going to take all the time to bring him in close just because he's that small, but if we can turn him our way, maybe we can drop a shot into the heart with the 30-06. Now the best time to do this is going to be when he's walking up this little piece right here, so gonna check the state of the call here. Probably gonna need to hit one more right before he walks up that. We'll do it a tad bit early, just so it's out of the way. And if he's kind of angling up that hill just the littlest bit, I think that gives us the window to squeeze this shot in where we need it. So gonna 0-4-164. Gonna try to put that shot in there. I believe we got him the first time, but no point in letting that get away. As small as he is, just gonna get that second shot in there, especially when we have an underpowered caliber anyway for them. And really, maybe underpowered is the wrong word. More so, they're a tier 6 animal, the 30-06 is tier 5, but it does have plenty of power to get him. That shot, it did do some heart cavity damage. We just were off by the tiniest bit. Little low and a little left, but into the right lung, and it would have been a lethal hit. But the second shot going through the left lung was enough to bring him down immediately. 21%, actually not as bad as I thought, but still pretty darn low. I mean, that is a mature. Our 1-star young melanistic moose over on Aurora Shores is bigger than that, so really good to get that out of there. And I do want to focus on moose a little bit more than we typically do. We have so many 5-star Rocky Mountain elk. We're really at the point that there's not much more room in the lodge for them, so we gotta stop just going for them anytime it's the kind of early drink window and chase some moose. Now that is a little more like what a mature moose should look like. I would say a little bit more mature than the last one too, because he's a bit more gray, but still uneven, probably a 1 or 2 star. And I think this one we could actually call in. Ooh, maybe before that. There's a couple of moose walking right to us. That's a pretty poor 1-star adult. So if we just like casually move a little bit, enough for them to notice us, that's 60 yards. Wind is okay. Gonna try to go no hunter sense here. Oh, no way. Right in behind the shoulder, dropped him in his tracks. And those guys just happen to be walking right at us. Good deal. So we'll be able to go grab this guy. The others are still a little bit too far away to spot. But our first moose here on Nez Perce with the bow is a drop shot at 60 plus yards. Try to find the arrow and I just don't see it, which is probably a good thing. Probably means it buried all the way past the fletchings. Double lunged him. I mean, that is right in the crease. Had a little bit of a crosswind kind of, and wind actually going into the angle towards him. So we had to aim a bit back, and that pushed it into that perfect spot. I mean, hitting the back lung with a lot of energy left, 57% as a 1-star adult. Thinking that's probably the area of that other one we were looking at. I should have marked that. The only thing is the wind isn't great, but I mean, considering what we just did at 60 yards, if we can get kinda close, I think we can do it. The only problem is, regardless high fitness or low fitness calls, he's just not coming in, so kinda getting a little far. Again, this is a slightly underpowered weapon, and that angle is even worse. So what we may do is, again, kind of intentionally get their attention. Gotta do it carefully with the wind. And just drop that shot right down into the skull. One way to manage the herds if they're not going to cooperate and come in is just do that. But I would love to know why he actually didn't come in. Ended up actually getting the brain, which really we don't do that often. Obviously the skull shot is typically enough to bring him down so long as you have enough energy. But actually hitting the brain there with the 30-06 is not bad. That's 68%. Like, he should have come into the high fitness call, but he didn't. Either way, gonna go ahead and sell that. And I think maybe we'll just fast travel up to here, because I want to scoot through most of moose territory as quickly as we can, because pretty soon the deer species will be drinking, and we definitely want to check on them. You know, this to me looks like some kind of aggression behavior. Almost like posturing. Like the way they're walking, the way they're pinning their ears back is like what Cape Buffalo do over on Tickamoon Plains. Now again, these won't come into a call. High fitness, low fitness, it's not working. But I think what's ultimately going to happen is they're going to end up just going back to drinking. So I guess again, 30-06 it is. I think he's uneven enough, so we're going to try to get this guy. Go for just a regular chest shot. And just to make sure he's going to go down. Hopefully not too high fitness on this guy. He's definitely not a bad size one. But I think the unevenness probably shows us he's going to be subpar. That was a hard shot. Again, pretty solid from the 30-06. Got the... Actually, did we get the back of the lung? We did, but it had already been hit from the prior shot. 63%, that's going to be just fine to take out. And I do think now, probably we want to go and look for deer. It's a little after 11 o'clock. There's so many spots to check. I think we want to get on that. Now this spot, as per usual, has been looking insane lately. And in trying to figure out what to take, like we have this 3-star mature. He's uneven, but he's not very gray, so I think he's actually decent. That 1-star adult is uneven, and he's at 35 yards, so if we can do this quickly, I gotta stand up to squeeze this shot over the hill, I think we can get it. Or maybe not. Might need to wait till he comes out the other side. This is as close as we've ever been to like a whole herd of bucks. That's our 1-star adult right back there. We gotta find a window where we're not gonna hit another deer. I think right there's gonna work. Gonna send every single mule deer at this little lake running. And just so you can see where we are, by the way, all the way down here in the southeast of Diamond Drill, absolutely loaded with deer. And we got ourselves a decent little 1-star mature that hopefully helps out this overall area. Even going like nearly to 70% typically benefits these deer because they do have such high genetic potential on average. 68%, probably that is a low fitness male, but we look at this. Quite obviously uneven, he's a 4x4. But he's got the forks on different areas, the back of his left antler and the front of his right antler, so I think that's going to be good to take out. And we're actually going to work our way down this creek. There's a whole bunch more drink zones, whitetail and mule deer, and I'd like to get a look at what's around here. And I mean, that right there is why I want to keep an eye on stuff like this. We have a 4-star down here. He looks pretty gray. I don't have a ton of faith in that making it. That's another pretty decent buck there too. Hold on. Gotta get a spot on that. That is also a 4-star. Now, he is not as gray. It's very notable. I think he's got a real shot at making 5-star. Now, as for what to take in here, that guy is a 2-star adult. I think maybe this one is going to be the best bet. He's a 1-star. And I'm kind of thinking that's actually not going to come into the call. Or even if it does, we might have a bunch of stuff coming in. Because in all likelihood, he's still high fitness. But I don't have a clue where we are in the age cycle. I think we'll just go ahead and pop this guy with 30-06. And if we have time, maybe we get to rest today and see if one or both of these guys actually makes 5-star. I think the one will, probably the other dies of old age. And I mentioned earlier that we have a bunch of 5-star elk in our lodge. We're getting to the point that we're starting to amass quite a collection of 5-star whitetail, but that is never something I'm going to worry about curbing. The more 5-star whitetail we can get, the better. 60% in Diamond Drill. Those are ones that are actually below the average, generally speaking, so good to take that out. And I think there should be at least one more zone down at this end. We're actually further south than I thought. And we might actually be past them all. We'll still make sure, but actually not a bad deal. Man, there's another big buck out here. That's a 4-star as well. There's 4-star whitetail all over the place. And we've got a bunch of mule deer to our right. Not actually sure what the best thing to go for is. Clearly, our whitetail are doing just fine. So we may take a peek at the mule deer. Because there's a 2-star there, who's pretty gray. And a 2-star there that maybe isn't quite so great. Also, I think he's a little bit bigger. So I think we'll go with this one. And again, we're kind of in this weird spot where I think the gun's just going to be better. We're going to be calling in mule deer and whitetail. Probably all these, again, are going to be above 50%. So probably just best to take them out and try to keep moving. But so many 4-star bucks. And I think gonna be another headshot just due to where he stopped. So we're moving down through this part of Diamond Drill now. I would say kind of the main creek as it's right outside the cabin. Just an insane amount of big ones. This guy is not a real big one, but hopefully he does aid in getting us big ones down the road. 43%, actually he was sub 50, so low fitness call may have worked there. Is that the same buck? That's a 3-star mature, very brown in color, but typically 3-star matures don't tend to make it. I didn't know the whitetail even went up there, but they might all run past us. And a very different deal when we get off of some of the private land. A couple of 1-star mature whitetail out here. I think we'll try to get one or both. What is that guy back there? A 2-star mature. Whatever we can get, we'll go for. And then I think we're going to try to rest. Like I said, I don't know if that's going to pass an age cycle. But if it does, maybe we can see... Oh, I think we got that next shot. Maybe we can see the 4-stars age. But both 1-star matures that hit the ground here got a 40%er there. He may have gotten the 2-star. He actually doesn't look half bad. Just not nearly as big as we want to see. And then this guy may have been the weaker of the two, which on the run right dead center in the back of the neck at 200 yards. Pretty good deal. He has a 34%er, obviously much more uneven and weak genetics. But that gets both of them taken out. I'm thinking back, we most likely would have rested to the point where our melanistic mule deer got to 3-star mature, and then probably that was our last hunt. So resting actually won't cause aging. I'm quite confident of that. So maybe we'll just keep on moving. And I guess we could check for more deer herds down here. And right on cue, we've got a 5-star pheasant out here. Now, did he flush again? Because that one did. The one thing we haven't done with pheasants, we've shot a couple of 5-star pheasants, most recently over on Transylvania, out of the air with a rifle. We've done that 2 or 3 times now. We haven't shot one with the bow, and it's going to have to be off the ground. We could do this all day, chasing it through the air, but I just don't think that's going to be the ideal move. But maybe, you know, a slightly longer shot, no hunter sense? It could be at least interesting. Now, that's a 2-star. It's good they've all kind of settled. Oh, and he is right there. 17 yards, not quite the long range I was talking about. But if we just kind of sidestep that brush a little bit and try to slot that shot through there. Bit of a crosswind, so we're going to put this on the right side of the chest. Dropped him immediately, which I guess we shouldn't be surprised by that. Pretty darn cool. Is that lung blood? Oh, I thought maybe we got him in the heart or something. I guess that's just maybe what happens with birds. Or at least when you shoot them with the bow. Not bad though, right through the center of the chest, a little above the heart. 91%. So potentially a 4-star that we have seen in the past. A total score of 476. Seems like we're just killing a 5-star pheasant every time we're on a map with pheasants these days. But we will take that. Again, talking a little bit about the trophy lodge and how we intend to complete it. With, you know, things like focusing on moose rather than elk, because there's a couple of spots where that would fit. We're nowhere near done with all the small game, all the duck and pheasant plaques. That helps us a little bit, and I actually think, you know, we're past 3 o'clock, deer are pretty much done drinking. As I said, we're not going to be able to pass an age cycle by resting once, so we may go ahead and place that pheasant and wrap this hunt up, but good deal. And by the way, for clarification, putting a big 5-star elk here, I think it would kind of clip through the wall, so I'm not even sure moose would fit there better. That's probably a deer spot, but that's what I'm saying when we're pretty much out of spots for the Rocky Mountain elk. So, could do pheasant here. We'd need a male and a female. That might not be a bad mount to have. Let's actually go with that. A couple of spots like this, so not a big deal, and you can see they have fixed the date, so I think it might be off by a day, because it is September 12th at 1 a.m. right now. So, interesting, but we'll tax that. Got a little spot there for it, and we can kill a hen pheasant at some stage to put that there. I really like, you know, what we initially started with. This big platform in the center. We had some mule deer there at one time, then I think elk. Slowly but surely, not only have we filled those main things, but it's these little side ones. We have the 5-star wolf and badger back here. We've got the 5-star wolf and pheasant here. Now even back in this little spot. Getting some of these spots filled up, one day when we have every slot in this lodge filled, and there's a lot of time to go because these little things, ducks and pheasants only, it will take a while considering we only focus on big game, but I love the design of this lodge. I really like to see it slowly but surely filling up. Whether it is big game or small game, all of it needs to be added to the lodge and Cody get another 5-star on our first hunt back on Nez Perce. So anyway, I think on that note, that is going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.